want him to come with me.
Oh, right, magic skull. I might try and dissect him.
Yes, it is probably for the best that he doesn't come with me.
Alright,
Unless you
so.
don't want him anymore.
No, I was just. In case something happened, I have my own healing capabilities.
True enough.
So I'll go over and kind of corral Pete to let the children go. Quit trying to eat them. I won't say that.
You
Like,
corral Peep more or less back with you.
and I'll have him shrink down to where he can fit in both of my hands.
Okay. You condense him back into pocket form. And there he goes.
And I do remember this. I need to redo my disguise because I let it drop earlier.
Yes, you did.
So I'll go back to the, I guess, farmhand look.
Okay. I wasn't going to say anything in case you forgot, and it'd be hilarious if you did. But, oh well.
Yeah, good try, Dogma.
Okay. So one of you is heading to the school, and the other one is heading towards prison. Technically.
Possibly.
Story of my life.
Okay. I will then go with Q then, because they are next on. No, Huntsman's on the next list. Nah, I already said Q. Might as well not be a liar.
Cue the cultists.
Let's see. Brothel, shop, hideout, bar, lab, church. This is not alphabetical. Cantina music probably doesn't work for this. Go on, whoever was speaking. No? Okay. Let's go with best is yet to come. As you begin to take your vows, they're simple enough that you don't really need to remember them. It is a pact and contract of word. You make and form a separation of thought and pattern of what one needs to do rather than what one wants to do when summoned. However, that is for you to decide if you decide to continue on this path. And yes, I did say decide about 3 times in that sentence there. Nevertheless, Yule stands there, continuing that conversation. Finishing the ritual, he does and turn towards... Well, you're not exactly sure who they are to him, but the very pearlescent tiefling next to them. They then present them a small piece of paper, and then the small tiefling pricks their thumb and binds it onto the paper, where it then burns an insignia upon it. And then Yule turns towards you. Now then, Miss Bishop, this is a pact of word, but a pact of your own word and ours. If by chance we send you into a dire strait without warning you, we ourselves would be penalized in this matter. However, you yourself have also and are bound to your own word. If you decide to go against it, that is your choice, but you are also penalized in this term as well. We have here now a witness signature, and myself. He then pricks his own thumb and does the same repeated pattern as the coordinator of this pact. If you decide to continue on, you will have our backing as well as some coverage if you're deciding to go and wander about the town, observing and figuring things out. But it is not a finite purpose. You do not get full control of the city just simply because you have our name. But people are more willing to negotiate with you, and have you look around without too much trouble.
Alright.
But there still could be trouble.
Yeah. Don't think I caught her name, but the tiefling there, the young woman, she said y'all were looking for a tiefling? Another tiefling?
Yes, but that is their own private matter, I'm afraid. The tiefling woman then simply states, "Oh, I mean, I can tell you my name, but the other thing's kind of, it's kind of a personal matter." Okay, I thought you were gonna try to protest, but that's perfectly fine. She then simply states, I go by Willow. Willow. But Yule still stands there holding the piece of paper out.
Oh, well.
You have yet to say whether you sign it or not.
Oh, yeah, I sign it.
Okay. You prick your finger and then place the thumb upon it, or whichever finger you decide to use, and an insignia of blood signs down underneath it. And then chimes and binds and rings in. You're now hold to your own word, and they in turn their own. They can't send you out without warning you of potential danger. So obviously they can't say, "Hey, investigate this missing owl bear," and then wind up realizing that they also knew that there's a giant monstrosity that is burning down an entire village.
Gotcha.
They can't do that. They would have to inform you.
Right.
But in turn, if it's part of the mission and stipulating that that you're on the mission as part of the church, you would have to give them the full detailed briefing.
Right. Well, Willow, if you ever need help searching for this person, I mean, I know a few people around that are pretty good at finding information out, so if you're looking for someone.
I mean, from what we've heard, there's a new tiefling that entered inside recently. So I was just checking.
Anything I can look forward to maybe help?
Just if you ever find their location, just let me know.
I need to know, like, I need to know specifics. I mean, I know of quite a few tieflings I can tell you where they're at, but...
I mean, if they've already been in the town for a while, we've observed most of them. Or just anyone that's new here.
Well, I'm not new technically, but I just arrived, so I don't know who's new or not.
It's okay. She looks towards you and simply states, "It's fine if you don't know, but if you ever come across anyone that doesn't really... I mean, you said you were from here, so if they're not usually from this city, if you let me know. Or Yule."
Alright, any special qualities, like, you're looking for?
Just someone new. I can't really describe too much, or else you might be put in danger.
My job is much more dangerous than looking for someone.
It sounds like you're trying to persuade her, so roll persuasion. I mean, they're not your typical tiefling, so they won't have the pale humanoid skin or the red attributed tint to their flesh. So anyone else that doesn't resemble that, maybe an albino or a blue tint.
Alright, I'll see, see if I can get any information on that for you.
She nods. Willow, yes, they must look like a member of the K-pop band.
I think this is a point where Morthos turns evil.
uh, that aside, you'll then look towards Quincy or Q. I forgot what you told him to call you. Doesn't matter. He's still gonna call you Lady Bishop regardless. He's formal. He then comes over towards you. Now, Miss Bishop, really. Now, Miss Bishop. Take this. He then gives you the crest of the Council of Five, and then he gives you a blade with the same crest adorned on the side of the hilt. This
Alright.
this will show that you are part of our organization, but it will also demonstrate that you also have our backing. So
Okay.
most often than not, you shouldn't have any trouble.
I'll attach it to a little clip on the side of
It
my
is-
waist.
It is nothing fancy, but the badge itself can send the spell send once a week, and the blade itself is a simple long sword. It's more
Right.
ornate, something you carry rather than something you use unless you use the weapon itself.
Correct.
If it
Eh.
matters, it is ordained with silver.
Alrighty.
But that's it. He then simply states, now, you did suggest you were observing things in town. So
yes,
with this,
I've got a few things I came to town to take care of. One you've already helped with, but I have a few other things I have to take care of with some friends.
very well then. If you'd like, they can join as well, or they can be under your supervision so long as you're still within the sight of the area.
Right.
More often than not, strangers, if you came with them into the city, I'm only assuming they're strangers to the site, are often not
Yeah.
well
I know.
liked.
I know. One of them's been here before, but I don't know if any of the others have been into the capital. Been to the capital in the past.
Mm.
I know one went to school.
Well, you can always try, or at least they can always try and see if they can't get through to things.
Yeah, I mean, I'll offer, but I don't know if they're gonna be to join. No offense.
There's
but
no need for them to join so long as you're there. That's
Gotcha.
why I suggested beforehand, when she was still here, that one of my agents would go with you.
right. Well, I mean, I am of the capital, so I mean, it's not a problem for me. I mean, I'll eventually have to come back home, so to speak.
Mm.
As probably gonna have a lot of responsibility here soon.
Well, you did become the head of your estate, so I suggest you go and visit and pay tribute to the current ruler.
Yeah, that's what I had planned on doing next.
That being said, the way he phrased that, it doesn't seem he meant king, just the current acting ruler.
So, I take it the king's not well or passed?
The king is still with us, but he is not feeling well. Unfortunately, the heir in question is currently on the battlefield some distance to the east, so they can't exactly rule from that far away. The second heir is currently at school attending classes, and so they have decided to make that their priority. The third is capable, but not many regard him as such, as he is a bastard son. But he still rules as it is his lineage right, and the only other potential operative family member to do so. So he is the one you'll likely be speaking with.
The third heir, you said.
Correct.
Any advice? I've only met the king a few times when I was younger.
I did say operative. He then simply states, Prince Tasmar is stern, quick, and very very insightful on things. So if you decide to, I am not sure if you're a type, but offhandedly make a rude gesture or remark, he really wouldn't care as long as it's not something that could be detrimental to the society in hand or the people in question. He is one that
Right.
looks for the betterment of the people rather than disturbing the entire area.
Mm. Sounds like me and him might get along.
As long as you don't screw up, he won't have a problem with you. Although currently he's not showing his physical form, but he is wearing his ASMR attire.
Right. Well, you know how to get me, but I guess I gotta go talk with him.
I wish you well.
I give him a slight nod. I turn to Will and it's like, I'll let you know if I come up with anything.
Right. Right around now, you probably get the call from the gang. And so you know a destination site you could go to. But so far, knowing your group, you'll likely split even further. But that's beside the story. We'll move over to Huntsman and his wife. Let's see, Canal School. What was that?
I'll let the group know I am gonna go and make an appearance to the ruler, and then I'll meet up with them.
All right. Oop, ignore it. Ignore it. Don't look.
I'll be right back.
No one saw that.
No, it was too blurry.
Good. And, oh man, that might mean that the map's also screwed up. Let's see. What would be... I think this is like the only second time I've ever had to say this sentence, but what would be good brothel music?
Probably what was played at the wedding. Actually, ironically.
Well, this one's called Sweet, so let's go with that. Yeah, that works. And that was fast. Zold, you enter into the location that the once barmaid, that is a very terrible bar attendant rather, told you the location of. The owner of the shop did mention, the barmaid at the shop did mention that she did see someone that was described by Cerulean enter into this brothel, but never really left. They were there for their own personal reason, but they never shared what that reason was, so you don't really know. They just never saw the said described person again.
I don't think it's every day someone visits a brothel with their wife.
Well, we've never been here, so... I will say that the capital higher-ups are not exactly the best husbands. And that's
Fair
all I'll
enough.
say.
Think you'll recognize your sister if you, see her?
More or less. Once... Well, I've only seen her a long time ago, and as time changes, the entity that we are housed with also changes our form to more meld with one another. That's what I've been told. Didn't really understand it when I was a kid, but it's what I've been informed of.
Well
You
done.
You really didn't need to roll.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to, change the flip side.
I thought you were just chancing the dice.
No. Let's, look in. Perhaps we're looking for a third member of our traveling orgy group? I don't know. Let's just get in there.
She raises an eyebrow but says nothing. Entering inside, you do see that there appears to be a empty room filled with 2 lanterns to the right side of you, multiple empty chairs, and a deck of cards on the table currently displayed out similar on how people play poker. At a certain point in time, you do see some of the cards begin to move.
Neat trick.
Could be unseen servants or very extreme strip poker.
They took off their skin and their bones.
It's not really the game I play. Ray, yes. By the way she described it. But entering inside, you do see a whole bunch of people entering here, mainly men. But you do see that there is a gaggle of women to this side, as well as a good amount of very, very handsome-looking men here and there to and fro. Some of them look swashbuckling adventure types. Others look very ornate, decorative, pampered kind. Others still look more rough and tumble, and others still look like made in flowers, which is a weird description that I just used. If you had to guess, these people to your far east-south might be the people that attend to the others if called on. But currently no one is calling on them. The only people here seem to be, based on how their body appearance are, the way they're talking with one another, the standard array of people. Basically, they come here from time to time so often that they have basic grooves to the chairs that they perfectly sit in.
Yes, I am very parched. Say, someone tell me, where might the mistress be?
You come over straight towards the man next to you, Cerulean, in a close clip, but not too close. The man turns towards you and simply states, "Oh, are you the new blood? It's good. It's good." You can clearly tell this man is intoxicated. Now then. Go and speak with Brasher over there, points to the very handsome orc individual behind the bar, currently tending to said bar. Brasher there, you'll make sure that you're treated well. Treated good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. As you head over there, he does slap you where you would expect.
Man, I just got good gamed. Hey, yes, my fine gentleman. I am here looking for the good wine and even sweeter lips, if which to taste it from.
Brashel looks and turns towards you. Eyes you up and down. Eyes Cerulean up and down. You both are disguised well enough that he simply states, Let's see here. If you're looking for someone to entertain you, you will have to pay a good sum. Depending on who you want to be entertained by, well, that could change the price. The lady of the house that runs the main establishment isn't currently here. However, you can still pick and choose up from among the variety of people we have. He then gestures towards the 2 tables to the south.
Yes, that is very good, my good man. Rumor on the street is that some of the new blood is in. I'm very interested in meeting any of the new arrivals.
Let's see here. He takes out a ledger and then simply states, there are 2 new arrivals. There is Liana, currently here, He gestures towards Leanna and then he simply states, Leanna over here is fairly new. She came here roughly around a week ago. So, if someone heavily used isn't to your liking, she might be someone you're into, but I would say she has a bit of a temper. So if you don't like that in the sack, I suggest you go elsewhere for your entertainment. Now then, the other individual that is new here, based off of the schedule, is Max over there. He then turns and points once again to the table. To the front. Max over there seems easily enough. Good on the eyes, great on the posture. He'll basically come and give you a good time. He winks.
Yes, yes. This Liana. I'd love to see her closer. Wouldn't you say, my sweetest flower? And I turn towards Cerulean.
Yes. Brashel then states, very good then. He then gestures towards her and then rings us. Well, no. Actually, what you see, he brings out a small case, and in them seems to be varied ornate bells. He then rings one of the bells, and it begins to light up, similar to an incantation of some type of magic. However, you then do see that something on Leanna also shines, and then she comes forwards. Brashel then explains the situation, and Leanna then states, all right then, if you're not really going to do anything, I suppose looking can be a small fee. Let's say she looks you up and down. I'm sure you can part with 5 copper to look. Cerulean then puts down 5 copper and hands it to Brashel. That should be fine. Leanna then goes, what, do you want me to spin around? She spins around, not even waiting for your answer.
Perhaps this thing that me and my sweet flower here have in mind, a bit more of a private showing.
She raises an eyebrow and then simply states, well, if it's private, it's going to cost you more than 5 copper.
Of course, my sweet Liana.
Well, I'd rather not have the missus here, gestures towards the disguised Cerulean, pay this time. After all, you are a gentleman, and a gentleman does need to pay his dues.
Of course, I had meant to pay for the date, but the flower, she blooms too quickly.
Right. Not even gesturing towards the sad romantic incident, and she simply states, well, I'll get to it then. 10 gold, and I'm yours for the night. And hers.
Yes. Very sweet, sweet Liana. And I'll slide the gold over to the gentleman across the bar.
All right, Brashel then takes it and then states, very good. Go upstairs. He then opens a door, not depicted, to allow you to get upstairs, which is this direction, up the stairs.
Yes. My bouquet of flowers, please follow me.
Okay. They begin to follow you, Liana, behind to make sure if you do something stupid, she is not cornered behind you. Oops. You then make it... Oh, to be specific, this area has 3 floors. You're just on the second one currently. Stating to this, she does move and gesture towards the next room once you get up to the second floor and enters inside.
Yes, my sweet flower. What think you of our delicate blooming rose here?
I mean, a paying customer is a paying customer. I don't really care one way or the other. Male, female, as long as you pay. Surprised you could pay. Trying to rip you off, but she then raises an eyebrow. If you can pay, I can give you a good time. I won't say you'll enjoy the entire night, as it can get a little rough.
You speak very much like a girl I knew from a few towns not too distant from here. Have you any sisters?
Can't reckon I do. The ones I did have got burned down in a village not too far from the current war zone to the east. So this is the way I make a little bit of money. I used to be a mercenary in the army, but then they decided not to pay me, so I left. This is the best other wages I could come up with.
Very tragic, my sweet Rose.
Nah, most of them were soldiers themselves, so they knew what they were getting into. Well, everyone except for my grandmother. She was a general. She did die, but better than a soldier.
And what say you, apple of my eye, of our new acquaintance?
She looks at you, shakes her head, but then states, well, we did pay for the night if you want to do something. You're not sure if that's sarcastic or not. You can roll insight.
I am very confused.
I
Is it-
get it. Mhm. Oh, sorry, my mic's going through. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. Sorry, coughed. From what you can tell, she is joking about having your fun tonight, but she has no real connection. By Leanne's own testimony, Cerulean has been basically making sure she wasn't lying. I will tell you now, Cerulean did roll an 18 plus her modifier, so she didn't seem to be lying whatsoever. Though you can also tell that Leanne's story also doesn't seem to be fabricated. So this probably isn't her. They do have both blue hair, but that's the only resemblance. But even then, Leanna's hair is more transparent. Not transparent, luminescent.
Yes, I hear in your voice that having doubts now that we are here. No threat. Perhaps at best we simply take our leave.
Well, you've already paid for the night, so I might as well sleep on the couch.
Of course, Liana. We have charmed us simply so much that we have took our leave. How do you say? Finished a bit too soon.
I
am
see.
not
Where
used to.
You're one of those kind of men. She looks towards disguised Cerulean. I do hope you find gestures towards the lower half of your body. A little medical remedy for that. I do believe our mistress has something for that. Right. I'll see to that. She opens the door and then just walks through. Door's still open, but you can see her.
Well, then, enjoy your very, very well compensated rest, Liana.
Right. If you ever decide to come back, I'm more than willing to get a little exercise in.
I'll shut the door and I'll drop my accent for a bit. So you don't think that was her?
No, she didn't seem to be lying whatsoever. The best guess
Sure.
I can make it is she was a former mercenary. She did lie at one point, though, but I'm not exactly sure when.
Should we try out that? Try and see what kind of vibe you get off of that Max fellow downstairs?
I mean,
Could
unless
it-
she decided to disguise herself, it's possible that they're just new people. But I'm not exactly sure what my sister would have looked like at this point. It's possible. but I am not sure. She didn't mention a mistress, but according to Brashel, she's not currently in at the moment.
Then, my sweet apple of my heart's desire, perhaps we should ask about the whereabouts of the mistress.
Lead the way. As you begin to lead the way downstairs, I'm assuming?
Yep.
She offhandedly just makes a sly remark. I'm surprised you didn't lead the way back into the room.
Oh, please, my heart beats but for none other but you.
If it wasn't for her monotone voice, most other people would be able to get the joke. More than likely, the rest of your group.
Playing a part here.
Yeah. But most of your group would probably be shocked. But you come back downstairs, and Brashel simply looks at you and states, done already? You had the entire night.
Yes, well, once the fangs were barred and the kitty has gotten its claws out, I've fled the scene, as it were.
I see. She can get a little, makes hand gestures indicating scratching sounds, movements, little handsy.
Of course. You said the mistress was out. Where might we find her?
Oh, yes, the mistress is currently out. I'm afraid you can't really locate her for now, but you might be able to find her sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow morning.
So, my beautiful flower here, she has some special requests that must be ran by someone such as the headmistress. I am very much willing to pay. I'm sure you've some way to contact the mistress, what with your fancy bells.
Go ahead and roll persuasion. Not bad. He has seen you pay exuberantly for someone, so he probably thinks, hey, I can get a lot of money from this drunkard or noble that came into town. Because he already knows you're not part of the local establishment or any of the regulars. But he does look towards you and simply states, well, come back in about 10 minutes, do a little shopping, go around, and I'll call her in. And then explain the situation, and come back after that, and we'll see if she decides to stick around.
Of course. And something to sweeten the deal. Ensure that perhaps she wishes to speak with me further. And I'll put out 2 gold for every one of the, not patrons, but the actual workers. They seem like they've worked very hard. Perhaps they all deserve a day off.
So all the workers?
All the workers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. 13 were on shift today. So that's 26.
Yep. Too easy.
Yeah. Let's see. That will cover the night, and I will say that's basically the wage you have to do for the entire day. So, yes, Leanne did rip you off severely. So Brashel then simply states, very good, sir. We might be able to work something out. After all, you did give them the night, so who's to say they can't join you sometime later if you so choose?
Of course, please, by all means, keep them on standby. I think that once we've discussed things with Mistress, we've might some use for some able bodies.
Very good, sir. He then looks towards the rest of the bar/brothel and then simply states, all right, I'm afraid that currently we have a private venue. All those that aren't well-to-do, you hear someone in the corner then states, hey man, I have money today. All those who are not well-to-do must vacate the area, I'm afraid. And
My good patrons, I mean no harm, but simply need a private showing of all these fine lads and lasses to myself. Worry not, though, your thirst shall not go quenched tonight, for I am a generous lord. Uh, greet me on your way out, and I shall pay for your drinks this night.
That'll probably just cost a gold or 8 silver. If you want to round
I'm
it
just
up,
gonna
it's
give-
a gold.
I'm just gonna give everyone that is getting kicked out a gold, basically.
I mean, you can do that too, I guess, but the drinks aren't that expensive.
Oh yeah, no, it's I'm paying for their tab basically, as well as making sure that they can go get wasted somewhere else.
Oh, okay, that's like roughly 5 gold then, because some of them have higher tabs than others, and others are heavier drinkers. If you really want to do that.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I know you guys have a lot of money, but still. All right. Do you guys like do something for 10 minutes and come back?
Yes, my sweet flower. Perhaps we should go ornate you in the finest of perfumes the capital has to offer, so your big night is all the more memorable.
Brashel then simply states, "Well, you can go to the open air market." She then turns towards him. Is there clothes shopping there? Oh, I'm afraid not. If you'd like, you can go to. She cuts him short. No, that's perfectly fine. Prefer it that way. You see almost a very glazed over look coming about her.
Yes, my Bouquet here, she cares not to ornate herself in the fanciful of ribbons, but the flower smells ever so wonderful.
He nods as if he agrees, and you guys go to the open air market for about 10 minutes. In the meantime,
No, honestly, we're okay to just like head out back and like dig around for 10 minutes. I don't think either of us actually want to go to the open air market.
yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna show you the open air market because I made the map. You just walk in, walk through. It's entirely up to you if you decide not to do anything whatsoever. But we will go towards Ray and school. Shop, Zen's mission, canal, Bishop Estate, Harbor Street, guard office. Oh, the school's untitled. That's why I can't find it. Oh no. Some of the students are missing, and so isn't the other teacher. What happened?
The ones left in classroom 1 were the bad kids. They have been school, while the others had a field trip.
Sure, that'll work. Mostly everyone is out on the field trip. Those that remain are people that are self-studying, or have to be taught a few new tricks of the trade. Ray, you enter inside without an issue. You do know the place fairly well. This is just one of the rooms that you could go to, but it's only the... Well, I thought it was the only room prepared, but apparently some of my tokens just disappeared on me. I mean, I did clean some out, but I might have screwed up and cleaned the wrong ones. Oh well. Entering inside, you do see and hear good commotion, but not so much a commotion that you couldn't simply enter inside. Is there anyone you're trying to speak with specifically?
Would I know who is in charge or who I could talk to about something like the magic issues here?
Yes, there are a few people you can speak with here. I would call them principal, but there's a specific name because this is a university. Is here. You would know him as High Mage Vestrit.
Okay, I'll head to go see him then.
Okay. What is going on with my stuff? Okay, for some reason my... Hang on, just give me a sec. And it's still moving on its own. What is happening? Stop moving. Stop moving. Okay, there we go. No, it's not. Entering inside, you look for High Mage Vestrit, but they eventually just find you. It's not that hard to find you, as you are the only one there. Entering soon after, what appears to be a very, well, they are short technically. But an albino goblin does come towards you. Turning around, you can tell that this is Vestrit's second in command, vice principal, I guess. He is known as High Count Olamon. So as soon as he sees you, Olamon then looks towards you and simply states, "Oh, Miss Rayshana, I'm surprised you're back already. Did you manage to find the fundings you require to continue on your pursuit?"
Somewhat.
Very good.
It's still a work in progress. Is High Mage Vestrit in?
Maxwell Vestrit is currently occupied at the moment. If you'd like, I can inquire of him and see if he's able to see you.
Yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Very well then. Is there anything else you require?
No, not at the moment.
And the topic
Thank
that you would like to discuss with him today? Or is this a private matter? Something about your own tutelage? Or the like?
No, it's about the... Well, I heard there were issues with using magic in the city, and I was looking to inquire about that.
Ah, very good then. He then leaves for a second, comes back, and he brings in what appears to be a lycanthrope rhinoceros individual, who is in fact High Mage Vestrit. Looking towards you, he simply states, "Oh, Miss Rishana, it's been some time. How are you?"
I am doing well. Lucky to be alive after all I've been through, but doing well enough.
Oh, very good then. Olamon has stated that you are looking into the disappearance. No, sorry, my bad. Into the strange fluctuation in magic that people can use. Correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes, very good then. And I'm assuming you have the proper documentation to observe and to, not document, go about this.
Would I know what kind of documentation that is, and if I have it?
Yeah, if you're part of any organization known, like the Knights of the City, any other organization that they would adhere to, take for example the Council of Five, if you're part of any family members, or if you're a private detective or investigator. If you have any, like, forgery tools, you could probably have one of those pieces of paper with you. Or some type of emblem that they can recognize from a separate site of the not the council, of the city. I'm going to take the silence as a no?
No, I'm just trying to think if I have anything.
No, okay. He would then state, though, "If you do not, I can give you some information, but not everything, as you do not have the proper clearance for it."
I'll take out my was a different campaign. Did we get anything from the organization to show that we're part of them?
Yes, you got a small emblem indicating that you belong to the association, but if, specifically, if people do not know of that organization, it would mean nothing to them. It's possible that Vestrit does know of them, but it's also likely that they do not know. But it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I'll show them that.
You show them that.
Do have this. I do not know if you recognize it or not.
You show him the emblem, and immediately you do see that he snaps his fingers, and before you completely show it, a small, almost near transparent, but opaque enough that you can clearly not see through it, almost veil comes around you both. He observes it, snaps his fingers again, and the veil proceeds to vanish. If you had to guess, making sure no one else could see it other than you and himself. He then looks towards you and then, with a smile, he simply states, "Very good then. That should be enough. Ulamon, I suggest you go and teach the class of the rambunctious self-tutoring right now, class 1. Are you sure about this, sir? Shouldn't I be... No, it's perfectly all right. I should be able to handle this. Very well then. I will see to them then. Very good." And he goes over here. You do hear a lot of shouting and screaming in room 1, but not so bad that you can't go back to the conversation until the door closes. Vestrit then states, That is interesting. I had not anticipated you joining that organization, but regardless of my intent, you seem to have your own. So then, would you like the totalment of the information or just the snippets I have already given to the other observer?
The other observer?
Yes, the other individual that is currently investigating the site problems.
How about that first and then the rest if it's not too much trouble?
Very well then. Currently, Mr. Vash does know that a few incidents have occurred inside the city. For the main point, however, most of the individuals that can and are able to cast magic for a time, it is sporadic, so I can't exactly give you the amount of time, when or at frequency it happens. But at one point or another throughout the day, people aren't really able to cast any spells if they're even able to cast anything. It's as if a fluctuation in the weave of magic has waved the entire area to not allow anyone to really hone in or focus to the point that, how should I explain this more clearly? Think of it as you're on the weave itself, and when that strange wave happens, you are thrown in the air for not too long, but to the point that you don't feel the sensation of magic and it can't connect with it. And then some short time later, you fall back onto the weave, and then you can connect once more. Once you're here, and if you are able to cast magic, you are able to feel that sensation. But it is so sporadic, I haven't identified any leading points. However, based on this transition of inert magic from time to time, it is highly possible that someone is affecting it, but not to the point that they understand that they are affecting things. That being said, it might have a correlation with the strange abominations that have surfaced from under the water that are currently trying to get back out. Well, get out. I haven't really determined if they were from or outside of the water themselves. But based on its appearances, it's possible that these things are dragging the individuals that have gone missing underneath the water. At least that's my hypothesis and what I've given Vash so far. Now then, that is the base information I have given Vash, but this is the rest of the information I have made sure to skirt around, as he has not asked specific questions on these matters. Based on what can I determine, what can I determine? Some of the households in the area are likely connected with this. One of the households that I have inquired on this topic and might be connected is someone known as the House of Bishop. They're not too far from here if you'd like directions to go there. But the other family that might be connected, only on a assumption as they are the current ruler, is perhaps the royal family themselves, as they do not, well, suffice to say, more than likely should not have the third heir as the current leader of the city. This is only an assumption and a possibility, as I am not 100% sure on this. But myself and Ulamon do seem to theorize this as, well, if you're not really expected to rule, this is a possible way to rule without anyone saying yes or no. The second heir that would have ruled if they had decided not to is currently at at our school, but they are currently doing their own self-study, going for their own doctorate. So in their own words, they are too busy to deal with this matter. The first son is currently off at war, so they are, I'm afraid, too far away and have yet to receive word on said events. So if the third son or anyone else in the household or close to the royal family is involved, this would be the best way to skirt information around, as that's at least is what I've theorized. I could be wrong, and it could be just a wild assumption.
And what of the scientists in the city? Do you believe they might be involved with this at all?
He does basically snort and then simply states, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't part of this. They seem to be gather people from around the area, test them, and then send them back out. And I have theorized that some of their test subjects have gone missing. I've known for account that 3 of them have gone missing, based on my information. Who knows how many others, but I do not... Well, this is a side hobby that I'm doing, so I don't exactly have all the information. But I do know that at least 3 people that they have tested have gone missing. So it wouldn't surprise me that they weren't. That to say, they have also created monstrosities, strange mechanical creatures, and for some reason they're also harboring people inside of their own facility without them leaving said facility when they moved in. So it's quite possible that they're doing much more than simply scientific observation. And the engine.
Well, whatever they're doing doesn't seem to be purely mechanical, because when we destroyed the giant bull that was rampaging earlier, we found a crystal inside of it that seemed to be harnessing magic. And I'll show them the piece I took.
Alright, you show them the piece you took and they simply state, that is not possible. A soul gem this size would not be practical, let alone theoretically possible, unless a giant creature died around it. No, if this is an actual creation, then to have this and use it simply on a machine that they created would be a heavy expense on its own. If they somehow created this or found this, and they are dealing with things far beyond than I even knew. The overall worth of this gemstone alone, if it was intact, would be astronomical, to say the very least.
Oh, this is just part of it. When we broke it to destroy the monster, it broke into 3 parts about this size.
No, well, he does get tongue-tied at that and then states, no, I assumed it was not fully intact as there are chipped cracks around it. But 3 times this size is incredible in itself as well. If it's that size, it will be worth in the 1,000 platinum range. So if this is something they found, I doubt they'd use it this way, but if it was something they created, I would be remiss to find out what exactly they're doing. To acquire such strength and everything. Let alone artificially create it. If it is artificial, but I doubt this is real, as I've not seen anything this size. Only in picture books and stories of the like.
I see. Thank you.
Now then, is there anything else you need to discuss while you're here? Say, for example, the tuition to continue on your studies. Or you are still on your sabbatical to make sure that you have enough.
I believe it'll still be a while before I return. I've got some obligations right now, and funds are still low.
I see. Well, technically they are for you, so I'm not going to make you roll deception because you don't have a lot of money. Well, you specifically. So you don't have to roll deception, which is fine. But he does state, very good. I do hope that you take care of yourself first. While studying is good for you, I would rather you live your life and live it well, rather than struggle too much.
I'll see what I can do in that regard.
Well, we'd love to have you again. To be perfectly honest, you were one of our brighter students, but some of the students here are still looking to see how you're doing. I mean, some of the students that you had known for a while have already graduated and gotten their own doctortations. You might see them around the city if you stick around for some time, but if you decide to go and do your work, I believe you mentioned taking a sabbatical for about some time, which is perfectly fine. Often not students do that regardless. You are more than welcome to do so. But I'm sure some of the other students in town are more than glad if they see you.
I'll keep that in mind and be sure to greet them if I see them.
Very good. If there's nothing else, you may partake in one of the study sessions that Allman or the other teacher are acquiring, but I'm sure you're well above their current you're far beyond that current understanding. Quite literally, they're just teaching the students that did not get to go on the field trip today.
Where was the field trip to?
Oh, Arcadia, if you know of it. Oh, no, you would know of it. Arcadia, the city in the sky. It was also, at one point, given a slur name known as the Flying Whale, or the Floating Whale. I am not one to remember such slurs.
Ray looks visibly disappointed that she doesn't get to go to.
You know of the flying whale, which was the rumored city in the sky that you were told about, but you would know of the actual academic name known as Arcadia. It's mainly known in another name known as the City of Angels. But in cultural context, it's also known as the City of Fallen Angels, as many Aasimar with high-leveled Aasimar angels fell from grace from that site. It not only has historical context, but also it is still a thriving city with various, varying to degrees, archaeological insight, academic insight, various magical scribing, and possible new spell creation crafts, as well as new spells.
Would I know how they get there?
It's a trade secret, so no, you would know of its location because you already know of its location, because a long time ago you were told of it. You just don't know how to get there currently. Which is why this is a field trip, to make sure that the people that are taken are supposed to be taken, and those that are not do not find the location on how to go there. You could probably come back to this school, go in the cover of night, make sure none of the grad students are around, or stealth in, and then probably take paperwork from the said school and find it that way. Go back to the Frozen Mountain Keep and ask around, seeing if anyone else has information on it. Or go to the underground black market and investigate there, because they probably have information on that already. Or maybe they don't. Those are just options. You can also decide for yourself what you want to do. I just read the message in Roll20. Possible.
Well, maybe someday.
Yeah.
Well, I must be on my way. It was nice seeing you again, and thank you for the information you shared.
Quite right. I look forward to the next time you visit. Hopefully, hopefully this time you might stick around.
One can hope.
He then goes back to his office, not to beg it.
And I'll leave and put my disguise back on and head for the guardhouse.
Okay, Ray, what's your past perception?
20?
You do feel a sensation of a crow just look. No, sorry. His familiar's a cricket. A cricket just looking at you on the ground, just giving you a mean mug look.
I'm gonna look at it and ask, what? Shoo. Go away.
It doesn't go away, but you do hear Ulamon's voice. I assume you are done speaking?
Yes, I finished what I wanted to see him about.
Very good then. Please have a pleasant day.
You too?
Quite. This is likely how Ulamon figured out you came to this area and how he easily was able to get to you before you wandered around too heavily. And based on the level of creature, this is likely a familiar, and so low level a creature this is, he probably has multiple familiars roaming around the area, unseen unless you're really looking for them. So it's going to be hard if you decide to come in and steal any papers or documents.
Well, that'd be illegal.
I mean, you guys done illegal things before.
It doesn't mean I have to keep doing them.
That's true. Okay, Morthos, I believe you're going towards jail. slash the guard tower.
Yeah.
All
Got
right.
my guys up.
You head towards the guard tower without an issue, and you do see that there are guards everywhere. If you were a tiefling in here, it'd be awkward. It's a good thing no one invited Zen here. Who knows? Maybe these guys aren't severely racist, or maybe they are. But you're currently disguised, so rather not take that chance. So you move forwards, and you do see that an individual in front of you stands, looking at his desk, looks towards you, and then somebody states, "Oh, can I help you?" Oh, wait, sorry. Different voice. I'm getting a call. 1 second.
Ring a ding ding.
This has been a very interesting John.
Okay, got, I had to run real quick. Give me like 5 minutes. Everyone take 5.
Oh yes, the infamous 5 minutes.
Why do I feel the urge to stab you when you use that voice?
I have the same feeling.
Ah yes, for the French, they are a very stabile type of people.
I wonder how long Cerulean's going to be able to stand it.
I cannot stand it myself, so the same boat that we all sink in, I am the captain of.
You're going down with that boat on your own with that voice.
And heaven will gain another angel.
I'm not gonna let you in heaven. You blow yourself up all the fucking time.
I don't know why I decided to make my my disguise French.
Well, I came up with the whole lie that Lady Bishop came across me, and I've been assisting her because of my unparalleled strength.
Don't lie. Farm Boy Morthos has the hots for Q.
Nah. Remember, Morthos already has someone.
Yes, the grave
Demon Lady.
flower. Yes.
No. Not the girl in the graveyard. He's after a candle demon.
Oh yes, this is a wick that you would like to peel back.
Please stop.
Light
Just
that love.
Please stop.
Light that love aflame, wouldn't you?
If in before you don't stop and we all just murder your character.
Ah, Grampier, they are sending me to heaven. Grampier.
I think Zol got a cursed scarf of disguise possessed by some weird French guy and it took him over.
Oh my god. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in everyone's ears.
Your forgiveness is accepted.
Back. Everyone else back?
Indeed. I don't think any
Kinda.
of us have left this Molotov yet.
We're all debating on killing Zol.
The fear, the vower of my accent.
Sounds like Zold's drunk. The man in front of you, I was about to say Zorthos.
Zorthos. Holy shit, we fucking fusion
One
danced.
second, I'll be right back.
Okay. Dang it. Morthos, standing in front of you stands a man with a small name placard named Kent. Looking at you, the man simply states, can I help you?
And there goes my brain. I forgot exactly what we had been sent there for.
You were supposed to come in and speak with the captain of the guard. You were also told if you wanted to, but no one took the offer, to speak with one of the attendant, which would be Kent, about a perhaps award for slaying the mechanical monstrosity.
That's what Ray's going there for.
I'm gonna get that before Ray.
Yeah, I figured.
I'll share it. And I really don't know what I'm gonna use all that money in the bag of holding for. Anyway, so hi. I didn't even think of a cover name for Morthos.
Zorthos.
Yes, we're gonna go with Zorthos. I'm Zorthos. I work for Lady Bishop.
Oh, very good then. Lady Bishop. Oh, very good. It does state here she is going to have to inquire about her new position, and it says here she alone and her servants had taken down a it gives no name of the creature, but it says a large machine beast. Is this true?
Yeah, I helped with that. We had other companions helping us with it.
Oh, very good then. Please
just
state
that
the amount of servants and the time it took to do this.
Seriously, Dogma, you're gonna make me think of that?
It's your group. It's your group. At 6, by the way.
Yes. So there were 6 of us.
You could also lie and say there was 8 of you.
I am not at my computer, but I will be in a moment.
Mm.
Because should I lie?
If you want to. Based on the way he's
Why?
that is also a good point. But based on how he's describing things, it's possible the amount would differ depending on how many people were there.
That's why I'm saying, should I lie? Okay, out of character. What does everyone else think? Should I lie and try and get more money?
You
I
do
think you
you.
should be honest. But you do what Morthos would do.
Yeah, you do what Morthos will do. Q's gonna do what Q's gonna do, and Q's gonna murder Zol if he keeps his accent up. I'm just joking.
Well, Q hasn't seen him with the accent yet.
Okay, Star's going to kill him with the damn accent.
So, 24 seconds.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I think it was only 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
I thought 24 was a bit high.
We'll go with it. So there were 6 of us, and it took about a minute.
Very good. And did no guards help you?
There were a few. They weren't doing that great. One of them did better than the others.
Hmm.
Yeah, what was his name?
Oh, that's who Thomas was. I was wondering who was Thomas in my
Yeah.
notes.
Thomas was the guard.
Yeah.
The
Oops.
One guard that could actually hit.
My bad. I just wrote a name and then thought I could remember it later. Okay. Thank you, Ray, for remembering. Based on our report, it does seem to be a going on of what you have stated. The current acting leader in that area, I believe his name was Thomas, didn't mention anyone doing far better than any other in the guards regiment. So, if you can elaborate who they are, I'm sure we can constipate them. Words.
Compensate.
Compensate them for their extra effort.
I believe it was Thomas that was doing better than the others.
I see. He does seem to be a bit of a not wanting to show off sort. Very good then. He does something. He does write something down. Attribute 6 people, and then in another piece of paper attributes the amount of guards that were on his notes. He then puts a smaller number on that piece of paper, and then goes back to yours and counts out roughly 30 gold pieces per individual. And then based on the time you gave him, which was 24 seconds, he then increases the amount. And then in total for each individual is 150 gold pieces per person. If you wanted a total number, then times 150 times 6. The rest of the guards got like 25 pieces of each. He then gives you a bag, puts the total numbered amount, and then states, "Very good then. That should be about covering any expenses you might have procured and anything else you might have expended." Now then, is there anything else you would like to speak about?
Well, like I said, I'm working for Lady Bishop, and she's been charged by the church to look into the disappearances that have been happening.
I don't have any paperwork on her joining any religious establishments, but it might be something new that happened. Do you mind giving me the name of said organization?
The Council of Five?
He takes out a piece of paper with various names on it, and the Council of 5 is on there. You can see with your past perception, and I think you have a 13?
I have a 14.
Okay, you can see that. You can also see a few other names known as, the people that you already know that are hunting you down. Another group known as the Order of Crimson. Oh, wait, that's the people that are hunting you down.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Crimson Guard, which is a separate group. Not related, but I'm not a very good naming individual. And a few other groups. I'm just going to give you 3 names. 1, 2, 1. Reroll on 1, 3. Okay. Oh, wow. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You have in there known as one of the groups that is named is here they are, Anderson Robotics. Another group is known as the Isle of the Lost, and another group is known as Wondertainment Incorporated.
Oh boy.
Very good then. He then checks that name off and writes it in basically Q's file. Very well. I suppose you need to speak with the guard captain? I'm going to say Morthos says yes.
Sorry, I was reading Ray's message.
Yeah. Very good then.
Yeah.
He does give you a nice little sheriff's badge, and then goes, "Very good then. If you are under her order, you are able to function as her liaison. Please proceed forward and move over to the right and continue until you reach this room.
Thank you.
Right.
By the way, I've been carrying Peep in my hands. I don't care.
Okay. As you move around him, he goes, "My, that is adorable."
Yeah, wait till he gets bigger. I'm gonna just keep going.
When you said just wait until he gets bigger, he had starry eyes around him. Oh, also to take note, it might not matter, and it might. He does have what appears to be a tattoo underneath his neck, resembling that of a chicken's foot. It might be relevant, it might not, but it's a descriptor, and you have it now. Like tattoos.
Tattoos.
I think a good amount of you in-game have tattoos because you kept running through tunnels.
Yeah.
However, Zolthos, as you go over towards the door, two of the guards look at you, see your badge. You look down because you never actually looked at your badge. It does have Zorthos under the care and guidance of Q. Actual Q's name, I currently forgot. Quincy. Bishop, acting as liaison. They simply step to the side and then knock for you. The person behind the door then simply states, "You may enter." You open the door and enter inside.
Yeah, sorry. I was just taking note of the tattoo.
Okay. Moving forward, you do see that someone with the name tag on his desk, but also on their person, known as Flair Glimlatch. Looking towards you, he simply states, "Ah, very good then. You seem to be inquiring of, according to my... oh man, I'm forgetting the name of... the person that sits in front of the desk and gives people information."
Secretary?
There's a specific name for it, but I'm just gonna go with secretary. Is what
Receptionist.
receptionist. Thank you. Receptionist has informed me about.
Yeah, so as I explained to him, I'm working for Lady Bishop, and she has been charged from the church to investigate the disappearances within the city.
Mm.
So since I work for her, she's asked me to look and try and get some information on how they're just up and vanishing.
Very good then. From what I can tell you and from what information I do have, he gives you basically what Ray has, but then adds on continuing forwards. Except for the stuff that the hypothesis that the principal had. This is his own information. Based on the disappearance of what has acquired and what has occurred, most of the disappearances happen at night. So whatever happens, they want to make sure that no one's seeing things. So we might be dealing with someone with nocturnal patterns. So it might be someone that frequents bars. I believe they call them ladies of the night, but others call them other not so kind words. I prefer not to judge. If you need to work, you need to work, regardless of the job. After all, we can't all have lucrative investments.
You mean the ladies, the individuals working at the brothels?
Yes, or the streets. They don't all work at the brothel, I'm afraid. They all can't be cared for by Miss Alley. Right. Beyond that, however, we haven't been able to spot them, so they might be using some type of cloaking mechanisms, maybe something having to do with mechanical constructs. But if I theorize, and based on the information that two of the only casters in my regiment have taken note, there have been no indications of magic being used to make themselves disappear. So I doubt any teleportation magic is being used in the environment. I would have a platoon investigating this, but most of the effort in the East have taken more and more of my men. So we've been having to recruit more and more from the private sector, to the point that we need to make sure we have the numbers rather than the skill. It is unfortunate, but it is something we have to do.
Okay. Outside of that, any general similarities between those that are abducted?
The general information that we do have of those being abducted seem to correlate with individuals that don't have any family members, those that don't have any particular skill sets, and they don't have any magic whatsoever. While magic is scarce to find here, that doesn't mean that we don't have it from time to time. Those that do have it, though, often than not are, how should I phrase this, improperly and properly at the exact same time, taken into a family to work under them. Usually willingly. Usually. We can't exactly say one way or the other, unfortunately, as they do have their own working order that they adhere to. The only ones that could investigate this is someone from, an organization strong enough to oppose them, which would be underneath the ruling class themselves, or anyone from any order strong enough, based on the information I've received from my, I was going to call him secretary again, person at the front desk. Miss Bishop is working for the Council of Five. So it's possible that your team can investigate this matter from that end, if you so choose to. But I would not recommend it, as they are, you don't seem to be someone of high regard in this city. I mean no offense, because I am about to offend them. They are not great people. They often not go about and doing what they will to anyone that they choose to, and then paying them off. And the reason why they do so is so no one goes against them. And they pay well, which is why people generally don't. And even if they do, they just wind up just paying an amount to sweep this under the rug, and it's usually less than they first offered. If I could find any ties leading to any of those people, I would more than be willing to arrest them, but I do not have such power thanks to the shortage of well-trained individuals.
Very well. Well, I don't know if I have any more questions.
Quite right. You may speak with anyone here, and you may inquire about anyone here as well. We do have a few prisoners here that might have seen something. You can also speak with Kent, as he is the face of the information pool we currently have.
Any recommendations on who to speak with?
Kent has the most information. Some of the prisoners have yet to give everything, so they might have information that he does not possess. You can speak with the, I believe they are called Inquisitor, that is currently watching over them. You may speak with my vice captain to the side of me, but they will likely have the same information I do.
All right. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the information.
Now then, since you are here and none of your other individuals that have been told to be here are here, I must now then give this to you and tell you directly to send them a word and give the rest of the packets to them. He then hands you 6 packets. I've been informed that one of my agents did scry on one of the individuals that came to town recently, part of Miss Q's group that entered in here. Please deliver this and the 5 members remaining the information within these envelopes.
Okay.
Normally I'd speak what the informations are in this envelope, but I'm afraid that is only to the individuals that are connected to this. You would understand, of course.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very well. Have a good day.
You as well. You exit out. You do hear something underneath his breath. Nothing like threatening, nothing like that. He just simply states, Zolthos, what a strange name.
His parents hated him.
Maybe. But from that, you can clearly tell he's very perceptive. So, continuing to speak with him could give you more information. Not right now. He gave you the information he had. But more time progresses, he likely has more information to give. But if you specifically speak with him,
Figure it out.
yeah, he's going to figure it out.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of act like I'm holding Peep up closer to my face, talking to him, but I'm gonna activate the bracelet.
Okay.
So, and I'm just sending it out to everyone. So I'm at the guard house and got these packets from the captain that are supposed to go to everyone. We have clearance to speak to anyone here, including the prisoners.
Yes, me and Sir Leon.
All I heard was yes, me and Sir Leon.
Yes, me and Sir Leon, we have a bit of a gamble to pay off this coming evening. We might be a bit late.
Who the hell are you? And why are you a civilian?
Is me. It's all an act.
It sounds like Zold, but the pitch voice pattern seems to be off. He might be drunk.
If Cerulean hit you too hard in the head,
The apple of mine heart's desire cannot so easily damage me so as to be beyond repair.
can I just cut off the messaging to Zold only?
You do that, Cerulean's still up, so you can clearly still hear his voice. But she, on her end, does state, yeah, he paid for a rough night. Gives no context clues whatsoever.
Oh my.
And I say that we should get all the women together and they should stand next to all of the men.
He did also pay for that as well. If you need us, we'll be heading back towards our own little mission, but we'll keep you informed in case something else happens.
And they are so beautiful.
And half of
On
them are
that
men,
note,
yes.
Be careful. So that a lot of the disappearances are based on people that have no connections in the city. So
No
for-
connections are alone.
Yeah, so for some of us, we need to be very careful.
Anything else, Marthos?
Um, Probably ask if I'm to meet everyone else back at the orphanage now, if everyone's headed that way.
I would I would write down boo again, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. Boo! Morthos, you move over towards the rest of the group and inform them should we meet back. However, Q does state that she's going to the castle currently, and Zold, Cerulean did state that they have some prior engagement. Having to do with beautiful men and women, whatever that means to you.
I mean, could be interesting.
So far, you haven't heard anything from Zen. It does answer, but it kind of sounds like she's further away from the bracelet, talking about fashion.
I think that should be their next thing is to try to track Zen down.
I mean, it's not that hard to do. I will state, if that's the end of that conversation, a minute later, she does call back and states she heard everything.
Well, I don't know if I'd talked to any of the prisoners or anyone here.
Mhm.
How long till Ray gets here?
Like a minute? Well, like, technically in game, maybe 10 minutes based on where the school is, but I am going to move over towards Q.
Okay.
Okay. Castle time. As you entered into the castle, which is a big map, however, it is sparse as you entered inside. There's hardly anyone here except for a regiment of guards in the first section of the castle. However, beyond that stands nearly next to no one. It is nearly an entire ghost town until you reach the further epicenter of the area. You get towards this section and you do finally see more guards, but the entire castle seems near vacant. As then you approach the throne room. Adjacent to said throne room is the current said named heir or acting heir, Prince Tazimir. He does seem to be draped in garb with a very ornate Aasimar type of armor with a halo constructed on their back. This is likely not how they look like, but you also did hear mention that they are also a bastard son. So this is probably not how they look like, and this is to keep up appearances. Standing flanked from side to side are two very advanced, I forget what they are called. The robot people.
Warforged.
Warforge. Of the same make and model that... was Q there when you guys faced these things?
No.
Okay.
No. Rusty was.
That seemed to be far greater in advancement than the person you know as Rusty to be. That's all the description I give you because you weren't there. Standing flanked seemed to be a room full of individuals that might have say and sway in the matter. Current tactician in sight of the city is the old man to the far right of you. Oh, I forgot I named him Hamster. I'm going to change that name.
Damn it.
Hampshire. That seems better. Below him seems to be the one of the generals that came back to report things, known as Nawal. And the rest seem to be individuals from the city, but not some people that are high in rank and value. Or at least no one your father ever tried to get you to converse and make friends with.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be important, but not higher than you. On a side note, yes, this is a Warhammer table, but that's besides the point.
Sorry.
That's fine. Let's see here. You're speaking with the prince, acting king. Blast furnace, maybe. I don't know. Entering into the area, you do hear, before you arrive close enough to speak with him, but not so far away you can't hear the conversation, you do hear Prince Tasimir look towards Hampshire. This does seem to be a predicament. However, we do need the people here, and I'd rather not invest in a problem that has already inquired system errors. Hampshire then simply states, if you would, Sir Prince, right now I am acting ruler. Best you remember this. Right, of course, sir. Right now, we do need to make sure that the sewer system is sustained and making sure that it is progressed. However, we do need more manpower on the surface, so I do suggest perhaps training some of the new recruits, making sure that they are up to par with everyone else, rather than simply acquiring numbers. And I have stated beforehand that this is a problem in itself. The less we have out, the more they can't deal with. According to my information pool, some people from outside of the city had to deal with things for us. And yes, while training would be required of these new recruits, the fact of the matter is we have so few number out there already. No, sorry. We have so less skilled people out there already that the less we have out there, the more they are in danger and the more the citizens are in danger. And sure, they are not noble birth. They are still my people. And they are still people I intend to protect. Regardless of their upbringing, I'm sure you can understand this, Hampshire. You do see he does take a pause, but he then states, of course, sir. I did not mean to offend. After all, I do know your upbringing. And I understand this. But my upbringing aside, I am making sure this city survives. Its people survive. And that everyone else is taken care of, regardless of what you think of them. Noel steps in and then simply states, yes, about that problem. It seems that the disappearances have been growing more frequent, but they are not so frequent that people are taking notice yet. So I do suggest we bring in more manpower. I do have a regiment that could be brought in, but they do require more funding to get all necessary work, documentations, making sure that they're up to par and have everything they truly need. Simply a added bonus to everything that I've already inquired of wouldn't be too difficult, would it? Tasimir then simply states to Noel, I do appreciate this. However, the information that you have given me is not exactly clear. I'd rather not give you a blank check and then be given a bill that is astronomical in cents and have nothing to work with rather than your simple word. I know you, Noel. You are strong and capable. But it doesn't mean you don't have your own vices or the vices of your men. Sorry, I read Ray's information. At this point, Q, you are able to chime in. However, Tasimir does look towards you, nod, and then states towards the rest of the party. Now then, it does seem we have a guest.
I kind of do a knight's bow, like a knight would because of my station.
He does state, step forwards then.
Alright, and I'll step forward as close as I feel comfortable.
That's perfectly fine.
I'm sure you're probably aware of what's happened with my estate, my family.
Yes, Miss Bishop, I am aware of this.
I've
And
just come. Go ahead. Sorry.
as my information has given me.
I just wanted to be proper and come and greet you properly.
Very well then.
Not had much practice with stuff like this, so I apologize if I come across offensive.
No offense taken, as after all, I am the third prince, not expected to rule. So this is a new predicament for us both, I'm sure.
Of course.
Before you got here, Q, you would have had a chance to shop, and you were told to bring a small gift or a gift. Could be big, could be small, depending on what you decide to bring. Did you do so, or did you just come here and give greeting? And
I'm
You-
going to. I'm gonna take off my neck the brooch that we took from Spider Boy.
Mhm.
Can you hear me? Hello.
yes.
Okay, sorry, my headset was messing up. I'm going to take the healing brooch that I got from Spider Boy.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna hold it out.
All right, you hold it out.
Hinting as in, let's read the gift.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just basically showing a toy to someone. Like, look what I have. You do gesture it as an indicated gift. Within a split second, you do see one of the guards next to him moves forwards in a quick enough pace that you could, if you weren't paying attention, be caught off guard. They gesture their hands out to indicate you dropping it in.
Mm-hmm.
They do so, and they move in front of them, holding the gift aloft, and then moving back. Tazimir holds onto it, and the Warforged comes back in tow. And are you sure you're willing to part with this?
Yes.
Very well then. This is, suffice to say, something well worth my time and effort. Well, no, it's not. This is something well worth your time and effort. To be perfectly honest, I did not anticipate something so high in value. No, takes back, 'cause it's mine now. But I do thank you for being so courteous in this matter.
Well, to be frankly honest, value is, to me, I see it as it's valuable as long as it's useful to the person.
Oh,
Everything has a value no matter what it is.
no, my apologies. I did not mean value as in monetary value. This
Oh no, I don't mean that either.
It seems we are similar in mind then. This can help out in making sure that my men are healed rather than relying on the small network of healers I currently have in the city. So I do thank you for this.
My pleasure.
Now then, is there anything else you must inquire, or can I continue on with the information I am to bestow upon you?
No, you may proceed.
Very well then. As you are the new acting head of the Bishop Estate, you are entitled to a few things. You are able to access your entire family's wealth. However, most of it has been divvied up into monthly payments on what you are expected of. However, that mainly works with the paying of your estate, the paying of anything else that might incur, the wealth and establishment of once properly aged, the gift or dowry from the family that you are to give to, not only you, but your siblings as well, your vacation home, your secondary estate is what he was saying, but I just got vacation home.
Vacation
Yeah.
home, it's fine.
The rebuilding and funds of your current establishment that has been decimated.
I kind of chuckle.
So this month you will only have access to roughly 20,000 gold, I'm afraid.
Like I said, stuff has different values.
Good response. Now then, as mentioned beforehand, you do have access to that, but I do suggest you keep it in the city, otherwise many of the families would state that you are looking for greener pastures.
I wouldn't say that I like the kingdom. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Sorry, hold on.
I like the kingdom. But screw you, screw everyone else in this room. That guy's cool, by the way. There's no grandma, so I can't make that joke.
Hampshire's the coolest. Alright, I'm out. No, right. Yeah, shut up, Ray. No, I find a pride in our kingdom amongst everyone here.
Mm.
Everyone that calls it home. So, as much as my word is worth, I don't ever see that happening. The greener pastures, as it is.
It's just a word of warning in case you want to play the political game. But based on your history, I doubt you would do such a thing.
No offense, no offense meant, but the political aspect never really been one, my forte, or two, interested me much to an extent. But seeing as where I am at right now, I might have to dust off a few books.
I would suggest then looking up any magical attributed history, anything that could relate to your own family lineage, anything that your own servants might have access to. I would also suggest hiring out a mage and a clerical healer. Someone to also work with the underground network. He basically says a criminal, but doesn't say hire a criminal to work the underground.
Okay, that I've got 3 of those checked already. In my head, I don't say that out loud.
Yeah. Other than that, he does state, you might also want to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for anything that is around you. As you did kill your father, many people are out to, say, hunt you down. They're trying to make sure that they aren't spotted, but I do suggest watching your back from time to time, as more than likely your father had business partners that they weren't publicly known of.
In my line of work, it's to be expected. But I do thank you for the word of warning, as always.
Right. Now, I do have some information on what your father was doing here, but I'm sure most of it is in his own note journal that he likely keeps in his office or perhaps somewhere else.
Yeah, I do plan on returning to the estate here soon and take care of a few things.
Right now,
I have been away for a while, so I need to find out the reason why my mother and brothers were sent away.
According to my information, he does then look towards the woman to the right. Kala, do you mind? No, that should be fine. She comes over, hands him a document, and then she walks back. Now then, according to my scout that has inquired on this, it appears that your father was making sure that they weren't caught in anything that he was likely going to do within the next couple days, months, or weeks. I'm not exactly sure of the timetable, but it does seem that he was acting more aloof.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me as much as one of the reasons I came back to the capital.
That is likely why they were sent away, so I doubt that any of your younger siblings or your mother has any knowledge on this. If I had to wager, your father was making sure that they were taken care of.
Which I think they should still. Until I figure out what he was doing, I think it's best that they stay there anyways.
Well, Hythe is roughly 3 weeks out, even with carriage. So they're not going to likely come here anytime soon. Now then, is there anything else?
If you need of me for anything, you know where to find me. If I'm not there, do send. I'll either be in out of character. What's the other city that we've been staying in?
Roanoke.
Roanoke. I'll probably be in Roanoke, so I'll give him the address of the inn that I stay in, the cover inn.
Mm-hmm.
That I send stuff to.
All right, you do that. Very good then. Although it is surprising that you did decide to join the Council of Five. That is interesting.
I've been making some weird choices the past few weeks. I'm a little amazed at what I've done. So.
Well then, please keep in mind that the Council of Five does deal with the shadow, the fae, the light, the darkness, and the elements. So if you do need help from things beyond your own understanding, you might be able to tap to one of those points.
Right. Well, if there's nothing else you need of me, I do have some other business to attend to in the city.
Do take care.
And I'll give him the knight's bow again.
Mm-hmm.
I still, even though I instead of normal noble would, I give the knight bow because it's more of a reflex now. It's
Mhm.
just how she is.
You do so, and Tazimir waves you off.
And then
Not rudely, but he does allow you to leave. Like he's
allowing me to leave.
that's how it's gestured, but you can clearly tell it's formality he has to give.
Yeah. I'll nod to him after I get up and
All right. You what?
I'll best wishes for you.
And you as well.
And then I'll turn and leave.
You turn and leave and decide to go somewhere. In the meantime, back to
The brothel.
the brothel. For a split second, I was going to call it a strip club, but it's not a strip club.
Close enough with what they're paying for.
Yes, well, when you are the highest of rollers, you
Strangle
deserve
you.
beautiful of dice.
Zold cleared out the area, had the established well-to-do members of the area also kicked out. The people that work here have been more or less given the night off, but can get to work if called upon. Currently, one of them is sleeping in another room because you said you were tired and had your fun before anything else happened. But coming back 10 minutes later, roughly. Oh, wait. Wrong kind of music. I think it was called Sweet. Well, this one says Dancing Till Dawn. So you figure it out. Entering to the site, you do see that Brashold looks towards you, waves you over, then simply states, "Well then, you are in luck. Thankfully enough, the mistress of the house has inquired of your services, seeing what else you would like to have, if you will."
Most excellent. Where might I find the mistress?
Well, she's currently at a meeting, but she did say to stop in on the top floor.
Most excellent. Thank you, my good man. If you would be so kind as to open up the counter once more.
He did so.
Good man.
You head upstairs without too much issue. Do you, like, try to spy in any of the other rooms before you go to the top floor?
We can take a peek. We've after all rented the establishment.
More or less true. Yeah, more or less true. I don't know where Zen went, though. Oh, I think her token's underneath the map. Two back. Yeah, it is.
That's Cerulean.
Sorry. Thinking 2 steps ahead. You do see... well, for context clues, why the map is on the token layer. It doesn't look great on the token layer. Oh, well, it's not that bad. I just didn't like it there. Yeah. One of you said you were going to go talk with Zen or something. Anyways, Cerulean comes over, so does Zold, and do you look in the first room you come across?
Yes, the room that would have the lady sleeping there.
No. Let's see here. Reveal area. I'm just gonna reveal door/room entrances. So you should see small bracketed openings, indicating of doors.
This first one on his left. We can sneak a peek.
The farthest room?
No, the first one, the closest one.
Okay. So you take a peek inside. It appears to be two men, roughly of average build and height, fully clothed, so they're not actually doing anything, or who knows, maybe they are. But your passive perception can tell that they seem to be working on paper documents and the like. The woman inside the room also is working on paper documents, and they're having a small conversation. It doesn't seem to be anything brothel-like. It sounds more like accounting.
I'll poke my head in. Is this the room the mistress wanted me at?
You poke your head in. Cerulean soon follows after, but doesn't enter inside. The blonde individual man looks towards you and goes, "Oh, are you the one that mistress wants? No, continue forwards into the hall, all the way up to the final steps of the staircase. After that, you simply go up, and then you'll enter into her room."
Thank you, my good gentleman.
Oh, no problem at all. Some people enter inside of the accounting room and then go, "Oh, is this where we go and have our fun?" And I do say we do have fun here. We often not play something called Sudoku. Are you aware of this?
A lovely game for another time, perhaps.
Oh, yes, perhaps. We also play a rousing game of Go Fish.
Perhaps a bit too rich for my blood.
Oh, no, we don't, but we simply play for fun. The woman underneath him then states, "Stop it, Jonathan. He obviously wants to Speak with the mistress. Oh, yes, of course, of course. Well then, through the hallway, through the right, and then entering up the stairs.
Perhaps another time, my good fellow. Adieu.
Oh, yes, indeed.
So,
As you leave the area, the redhead then states, you see that, Jonathan? This is why we can't make new friends. But I told you before, this book told me this is how you make friends. No. He said continuing the hall and then going up the stairs.
oh, go up the stairs.
You can look in that room if you want. It's not the description he gave you, but you can look in that room.
You might as well.
Okay. As you peer in the room, go ahead and roll a perception check. As you peer inside, you do see that 3 women are inside, fully clothed, highly decorative, and maybe other women that were working on the first floor. Maybe, but they do seem more gung-ho than anything else. Before you entered inside, you do see that all 3 women, they all have lavish coats, but for a brief second, you did take note of weaponry underneath it. Who knows, maybe to protect themselves in case someone got too rowdy. Or maybe a room full of bouncers? The woman up front does state and look towards you. Is there something I can help you with, sir? We do have most of the ladies out for the day. It appears someone has paid for them.
Yes, that would be myself, actually. Looking for some mistress?
Ah, yes. Continue down the hallway and go up the stairs.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Should I be joining us this evening?
Oh, well, if you inquire of my services.
I very well might. Adieu, my mademoiselle.
Well, if you don't mind a little bit of fun having to do with ropes and chains, I'm sure we can come to a little arrangement.
I'm sure that all fun can be had.
Yes, basically that is the way she is acting. Right. But she doesn't stop you from doing anything, but they were in a discussion before you entered inside the room, Zold, from what you can tell.
Pardon my intrusion. I will go.
Do you continue forwards, or do you go into the other 2 rooms you have yet to observe?
I'll just check out the double doors, and then I'll head upstairs.
Okay. You check the double doors, and it appears to be a large furnace area. Not as high tech. No. To be specific, not as large of a furnace room as you've seen. Blanking on his name, Rusty. Work in, but some of the tools that they have in this area seem to be far more valuable and far more advanced than you've seen Rusty work with. The man with the mustache in front, very tightly built, good musculature, very nice mustache, similar to your own disguise, looks towards you and simply states, "Is there something I can help you with, sir? I'm afraid this is the furnace room and the workshop. If you are looking for fun, you can go downstairs and inquire of it."
Of course, you must pardon me. I am a bit of a curious man.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. I'm assuming you are the one that paid out for the night, so I am sure you're more than welcome to peruse around.
Thank you for your understanding.
Right. Well, do take a look around. Right now, we are making sure that things are tended to.
Excellent. Thank you. Do.
He does wave you off and maybe not continues, but then strikes up a conversation between the rest of the people in the room. Beyond that, though, they do seem to be tending to, you would think, weaponry, but they seem to be fashioning buckles, chains, straps similar to what you would wear on your person, but the way they are forming them seems to be warping them to the point that if you were a metal specialist, would produce pockets in the metal, basically hollowing them out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you then proceed forwards?
Upstairs.
Okay. Copy and paste. Not that it's relevant, but do you have Thieves' Cant, Druid Speak, or that one spell that does languages?
Comprehend languages.
Comprehend languages.
I could cast comprehend languages. Yes.
Oh no, sorry, not comprehend languages. Tongues.
Oh no, that's a bit above me.
Okay. Oh, oops. In the distance, you do see 5 individuals currently talking inside of the room. The room does have a very large bed. In the corner, you do see what appears to be a mechanized creature doll on top of the shelf, as well as various shelves in the area. Looking about, they all seem to be speaking with this individual haired woman, while this individual with the hat is writing notes down. Once they see you, the drow and the elf turn towards you, gesture towards you to follow and come forwards.
Ah, my merry acquaintances. To what lovely pleasure have I incurred the summons?
The elf looks towards you and states, "You did want to speak with the mistress, did you not?
I did.
Then wouldn't you be closer, not be more beneficial to you?"
Apologies, was a bit off guard. I did not expect a full audience. I'm not dressed to entertain in such a regard.
I suppose that is true. You then see them gesture towards the one in the middle, bow, and then begin to move around the bed. We'll then take our leave if you are more inclined to speak with the fairer sex of things.
I appreciate your billions of understandings.
He does wink towards you. Let us know if you require of our services.
A nice, cool pitcher of water, perhaps in a few hours.
Perhaps. You move forwards to them, or do you just stick where you're at?
I'll go across the bed.
Okay.
I don't want to get uncomfortably close. It's just the bed is in like a weird part of the room.
It really is. You jump on the bed and get to the other side. No, you don't. I'm just gonna move the map. Not move the map. Move the bed. There.
So you must be the mistress, yes?
You speak with the one in the middle, and she simply states, "It does seem to me that you are the one inquiring to speak with the mistress. I partake it, or that, and the person below us made a mistake."
No, I am the very same man who inquires so.
I see, then. Rashiel did state that you wanted to speak with the mistress and speak about things.
I have made a great deal of effort to speak. This conversation has perhaps been one of the more expensive in history.
Then I am assuming you don't go beyond the borders of the city, because they can get even more expensive.
Oh, they do tell.
She tells you about the nobles and how much they're paying out. Basically, but beyond that, you can tell that the woman to the right of her / on top, still writing notes down, more than likely making a transcript of what's going on, and the one below her seems to just be at her side. She then states, "But I am going off topic. What exactly are you here to do in my fair establishment? You did pay for the night out, and you did give my workers their wage, so they don't need to really work, and I really doubt you have the stamina to make them all work for the night."
Do not doubt my prowess. It will leave many aghast.
I did hear from one of my workers that you've already spent yourself today.
That is not entirely true, but it is close enough to regards. No, me and this beautiful flower here, we searched for far and wide for a very specific individual we heard tell came into this town, was working at an establishment such as yours. We wished to inquire after them.
Then it seems that that she was correct in this matter. She looks towards her scribe, and then her scribe closes the notebook and then looks towards her. They're not speaking, but they are looking towards each other. If they are speaking, they're not saying anything verbally. But the one in the middle bows towards her own scribe, comes back here, and then the scribe moves forwards, and she takes her place. It's been a while since I actually had to show my face, and it seems, dear sister, you've decided to show up. Cerulean looks towards her and then simply states, Is this how you look now? For the lack of a better word, yes. However, here I go by Allie. So I suggest you remember that in case you decide to say my actual name. Assuming you haven't been saying that Al willy-nilly, have you? No, I'm making sure you're not actually being spoken of too loudly. Just description. Alright, that seems to work just fine. Alright. What exactly are you here for, other than, I'm assuming, just to look for little old me? Well... Is Allie an ally? Well, I was making sure that you were okay, but I was also making sure that after finding out that if you were okay, finding to see if our brother's okay. Last time I heard, he was in Hythe. Oh, so you're still pondering on what happened in the past, then? Well, yes, I am fine. I am doing rather well for myself. Making sure that people don't know who's running this place. Making sure that if they do know, I misdirect them and make sure I am able to get anyone that I consider an ally out. But thankfully enough, you being here isn't a problem. The problem of you being here, however, is that you brought someone else here. She looks towards Zold and then states, Now tell me, why exactly are you helping her?
I would be amiss not to help my wife in any endeavor that she might care to come across.
She raises an eyebrow and looks towards Cerulean and then simply states, Perhaps the old you has been more vibrant as of late. I am not sure what that means, Cerulean then states, but I suppose so. Allie then states, Not... Based on that tone, it seems that you're more scarred than I first initially thought. So I'm going to take it that he is fond of what you are now, which is not a bad thing, but it also might not be a good thing. Now then, you know where I am, and you can have the night here with the workers I have employed, I suppose. You are married, but People often have open marriages, especially the nobles. And based on how you paid out, you might be one.
You do all right. But no, I assure you that buying out the place was perhaps not entirely necessary, but it most certainly helped in making your acquaintance.
I see. She looks towards Cerulean and looks towards you. It seems that your lot doesn't tend to think things through. You could have obviously just bribed the bartender downstairs to inquire of my services rather than believe him all outright. Often than not, people here specifically lie to you in front of your face. If you do not watch out for this, you will often than not be taken advantage of. Take, for example, the one you had hired first and foremost. She obviously did a number on your wallet, but sounding to me that it didn't do much of a dent.
You misunderstand. I was aware that I'm being played, but establishing an identity. Perhaps it's worth the bit of gold.
Well, I do have a bit of my own network in this city, so since you are akin to my sister and her betrothed, if not her husband, as you have mentioned, I would be remiss.
Anything.
I would be remiss to not give you a small dowry on taking care of my sister. So then, what exactly can I offer you today?
I want for nothing, save my wife to know that her siblings are all well and good.
Cerulean then states, I don't really need anything. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Well, if you both insist on not inquiring of anything, then I will show you something then. More than not, people come here for their own business, but never really understand what's at stake around them. So then, since you didn't ask for anything, I will show you something instead. You are aware of the engine that is currently being constructed in the waterway. Am I correct in this?
I know of it. I had a bit of a run-in with a prototype, I suppose.
I do have my own network, and some of the network is involved, and let's say, given honeyed words by some of the employees I have to get more information from them, and some of the guards are involved in this. And I piece things together from time to time. The engine itself is something that they are working on, but it is something to house something else. Something big and massive, and after a while I was able to connect with the said thing. They can't actually speak with me, and they can't exactly commune, but they are able to see everything around them and see the city. And I am not exactly sure what they've seen, but based on the engine they're trying to create and the size of the thing, it might be more than just simple observance. If you'd like, I can show you a part of this creature.
Love to.
Very well, then. She begins to say something to the mage to her side. They're making Mechagodzilla. No. She speaks with something with the caster. Something in Thieves' Cant. And then the caster begins to point towards this area. Oops, wrong layer. Points towards the west section of the map and begins to cast something there. I will say anyone with a phobia of multiple eyes to look away until I tell you to look back. Okay. She then snaps her fingers and a almost gate begins to open. Not a gate to allow anything in, but a gate to allow things to be observed. And then in that gate, Zold and Cerulean both observe this creature. Begins to look around, wandering about, and you can tell that it's not looking at you, but everything else as well. It has a multitude of eyes and various oozing armatures to the point that it is almost impossible to count. But the things continue to look around until the spell ends and the creature once again disperses into wherever it came from. This is just, you can now look if you decide to look back. This is now, Ali then states, this is something more bound. This is something to watch out for, and a small fraction of what I've shown you.
And do you know where this is coming from? Do you know where we might find this?
Currently, from what I've pinpointed and located, thanks to my mage here, that it is underneath the water currently. From what I can tell, the scientists are looking into this matter. From what I can tell, they are also trying to figure out any possible connections with the people in the city itself. I believe the scientists' names go underneath the branch known as the group Anderson Robotics. If you want to inquire of them, I can give you the address to their location. But if you want to go scouting yourselves, I can tell you that they're near the canal system itself.
I mean, I will not turn down the address.
She gives you the address. It's easily enough to find, so you can basically knock on their front door if you so chose to. Now then, I do suggest you keep my identity a surprise, and the next time if we do see each other in town, as now you found me and I have to now present myself in town once more, to make sure you don't rat me out on who I am, and my mannerisms might change the next time you see me.
I don't know what you speak of. You're simply the receptionist of the kind mistress here, are you not?
Very good. I am also she doesn't say air quotes, but she does give air quotes, a student at the Magic Academy, although I don't have any particular skills yet, according to their records. Am I clear on this?
Most certainly, Miss Mademoiselle.
Very good. She does look towards Cerulean. While I am glad that you are fine, I do suggest, Cerulean, that you aren't so emotional the next time you see us. It can be daunting to allow your emotions to run amok, especially since you are connected to the Feywild, and that can be catastrophic. We're all connected to different places, but yours specifically is tethered there, and it could present a problem to you next time. If I wasn't here, and if my mage wasn't here having a protection spell in this room, who knows what could have happened. Right. I'll keep that in mind. See that you do. It has been enjoyable to see you both, brother-in-law and dear sister. Now then, you did pay for the night, so you may sleep in any bed you choose. Ask of my employees on the second floor on anything you might need built or any jobs you might need handled. My ladies of the night are very good at handling rowdy customers, if you know what I mean. But if you inquire on their services, they're also more than willing, and they did get paid, to have your night be more enjoyable.
that if they are all kind enough to just leave us well enough alone, that would be more than perfect.
Hmm. But standard then. As long as you don't disturb them, they will not come up and speak with you. Simple enough. Now then, will you be using this establishment's services, or will you be heading out?
I think we might make use of a room to sleep, rather than pay for another hotel, so we might be back.
There is a room to the second floor to the bottom, following along that hallway. It's one of the rooms you didn't observe. You may bring whoever you desire, but do not ruin the place.
Of course.
So you head out, Zul?
Yeah, make sure that Cerulean, make sure Cerulean is okay. She didn't get to have much of a reunion, so she wants some extra time. I'm more than happy to stay a little bit.
You can,
Sister.
yeah, specifically Zold, because it's Zold, you can tell that Ceridian is actually emotional, but Ali seems to be distracted on the circumstances of the city, to the point that basically she's prioritizing her job rather than this current circumstance. So another time might be better suit for this family reunion.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and leave, and as we do, I'll turn to her and be like, well, if we know she's okay, from the sound of it, she knows that your brother is also okay.
Well, that's a good thing at least, but she didn't specify if he was okay, just that he is still alive. But if that's the case,
Information than we had this morning.
that is very true. You are very optimistic in things. But if that is the case and she had this information, then that means she's also been keeping tabs and hasn't done anything. Maybe she's making sure she doesn't have her neck stuck out too far.
I think you're selling her short. I think the affairs of the city are a bit dire, more dire than we initially suspected. I mean, we both saw what she showed us.
That is very true. Unfortunately, it seems that this mess has gotten a lot bigger.
Why don't we get with the others and investigate this address that she's providing?
Seems more than fair. I will say at this point, we're probably going to do a quick synopsis on Morthos and Ray, and then probably I'm going to say everyone meets up, and then that's probably what we're going to call it. So, Morthos is in the area without too much issue, basically talking with maybe the guard to his right, maybe the guard to his left, or maybe Kent, until Ray shows up.
I have a very low passive perception, so I don't probably notice.
Ray is roughly 5 feet from you until you notice her.
Oh, hi. Kind of step up close to her. Be like, I'm using her name is Zorthos right now, so just go with it. I'm gonna throw.
Ray, with your
That, yeah.
passive perception, you can tell that he has a name tag, and it has Zorthos.
Yeah, so go with it, or I'll throw Peep at you. And I know he could probably crush you.
Potentially.
Hello,
Oh.
Zorthos. Were you here to pick up the money from dealing with the mechanical bull earlier?
So outside of character, I'm gonna make Ray's day. I'm actually going to just pull out the entire bag of money and hand it to her. Yeah, there's like 150, I think, for each person. You can have my share. I don't need it.
Okay, I'll split it up when we get back to when we regroup with the others. Are you finished here?
Yeah, I inquired about what the guard captain knows for Lady Bishop, and he gave me a little bit of information, which I'll share with Ray probably as we walk back.
Mhm.
Also, he said if we wanted, it might be advisable to speak with the inmates, but maybe we should just meet up with everyone and come back and do that.
He told you can speak with the inmates, the Inquisitor, Kent, the Vice Captain.
Yeah, so share that with Ray.
Mhm.
But I mean, I would say probably group up and see what information everyone has, and then proceed from there.
That sounds good.
All right. Given an established connection, and I believe you said you would all meet up back at the orphanage. Most of you head back over there. Maybe that's not likely where you're going to stay. I will state that Zen does eventually call back, stating that she's done with shopping. Well, at least for now. They found at least one good outfit for her, but they're going to go shopping tomorrow again. Maybe. The rest of her group might bail out on her. That's a separate side story, though.
Like now.
Yeah. However, you do go to the orphanage, group in tow, and everyone else in tow. What happens there, who knows? Maybe you might adopt someone, maybe you might send someone out to get adopted, or apprenticed. One thing is certain, though, your problems have gotten a whole lot bigger, family issues have grown larger, and a certain robotics company has made way and made its face known as we end the session for tonight.